Has 2 full days. And we are back to talk about real estate business planning as we are starting to review numbers for 2023. And we want to know, do you plan to stay in the business of real estate? And if you do you have a comprehensive 2023 real estate business plan? And if not, we want you to join us in class, right, Anita?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So we kind of kicked this thing off on Monday, and we were talking about Realtor.com put together a 2023 forecast. So what they're anticipating real estate to look like in 2023. And as you kind of read through it, and it's kind of long, which is why we're kind of breaking it down each day for the next 7 days. I think we have left. When you read through it, right, it looks a little doom and gloom, or it could look a little doom and gloom. And so what Marky and I was thinking was, hey, every realtor needs to have a business plan in 2023. How can we help realtors prepare for what may happen? Right? Because at the end of the day, these are predictions. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. But what if you had a strategy in place where you can shift, or as Marky says, where you can sway in any direction that the real estate market takes us? You got a solid plan and you can continue to do business as a new normal. What do
And
you think, Marky?
I've lived through a couple of different markets. I came into this business from the hospitality business. I believe in having a business plan, but honestly, I believe in listening to the predictions that dictate how I plan. And if we were going to go back, I want to take you back to me being 9 months pregnant with Austin. February 2007. Stephen drove me from Chicago up to Appleton, Wisconsin in a blizzard so that I could take what was then the short sale foreclosure resource that they shortened and just called the SFR from the National Association of Realtors, because I was clear we were going to see foreclosures and short sales. It was one of the best decisions I've ever made because we entered into a cycle of foreclosures and short sales, but I was prepared because I was looking at what the numbers indicated. And my predictions have, let me say this, I've been probably about a 98.5% when it comes to my future predictions, because they're not an emotional decision. They're not a cooler talk decision. I'm going back, I'm looking at what the numbers say. We're looking at numbers year over year in order to make an informed decision about what I want to do with my life and my business. And I am hearing a lot of people now who are talking about getting out of the real estate business. I don't want you to get out of the real estate business. I want you to go back to why you came into the world of real estate. For me, at that time, I had went through a bitter lawsuit. I was still in the midst of a bitter lawsuit with my family. I didn't want to have to go back to college because I'd already earned a master's degree. I wanted to feel like a stay-at-home mom and earn an above average income. And that is that drove me to consistently try to find a solution on how I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom and earn an above average income.
Yeah. Yeah. So you had a strong why, right? A strong why of why you needed this business plan. And I think that the same thing is true for everybody. Whatever business you're in, but especially in real estate, especially when, the industry experts are saying that the market is shifting or has shifted. And once again, if the expectations kind of look a little doom and gloom. And, from what I'm getting through reading through this report, is it's going to be different, right? But there's still money out there to be made. There are homes that are still going to be sold. There are buyers that are still going to want to come in to purchase their house. So there are opportunities are going to be present, and it behooves you to make sure that you have a plan in place. So let's go ahead and hop into today's portion of that report. And so today we're talking about The second segment that goes into growth is going to soften, but prices are going to continue to advance in 2023. Now, they're not going to grow as much as they were growing in 2019, and even as much as they grew this year, but they are going to still grow, which means that there are going to be houses available for sale. There are going to be some buyers in the market that are going to be looking to buy, even though they're projecting that mortgage payments are going to pretty much double, right? But there's still going to be opportunities. Marky, do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, if mortgage payments are going to double, right, they're going to double for everyone. Okay. So that means they will double for investors and they will double for non investors. So if we're going to see a substantial increase in housing payments, then we're going to also see a substantial increase in rent. Okay. Let's just think about that for a second. And so when I'm thinking about the numbers, because Lawrence Yun stated that he believes that there are going to be 300,000 fewer realtors in the market, I'm thinking that pricing is still good. There'll be fewer realtors, which now means that I have the opportunity to grow market share. So I am looking at new strategies to be able to do that because I've already been through the foreclosure crisis and I survived. So a lot of times when we look at numbers, one, I think we got to start getting our affirmations together, right? And
Yeah.
and being thankful. Because if you change your mind, you can change anything. And how we're looking at the numbers instantly says, well, if so and so can't do it, I can't do it. And we're in an industry that a lot of people mimic one another. No, we want you, we want to guide you to build a sustainable real estate business based on the numbers. And let me say this, we're talking about predictions, but we're talking about predictions based on decades of data. Okay, by chief economists, people with degrees, advanced degrees in economics, okay, and finance. And so I'm not looking to get out. I'm going to retire in this industry, period. But I affirm that I'm going to retire in this industry. Now I'm looking at things like AI. How do we reduce our cost? How do we repurpose our content? How do we hit more people at one time with one action? Those are the things that I'm looking at, and those are the things that we want to teach you how to do because I want you to go back to why you're doing this. So when I'm looking at those numbers, I'm thinking that pricing is high, right? Or higher than it's been. That means we would make more money per transaction and there are few of us in the industry. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And then the next component was for sale inventory is expected to increase. And so they're predicting that inventory prices are going to rise 22.8% in 2023, although that's going to be 15% lower than what they rose to in 2029 and 2019. So, but 22.8% is pretty decent, I think. And then the
Yeah.
other thing that it really highlights is for buyers that are out there that because the homes may not sell as quick, the sellers are going to be more willing for concessions, right? So they're going to be willing to negotiate below the asking price as opposed to 2019. There was no negotiations happening. It's like this is the price, or people were paying above and beyond the asking price to get into these properties. And that's going to kind of balance back out a little bit in 2023. What are your thoughts?
So when I'm thinking about everything that you just stated, right? The inventory levels, the pricing concessions, the fact that there are fewer buyers in the market right now. So we have fewer agents. We might not have as many buyers, okay? We can make more money per transaction. So now I think we need to understand our target audience and develop a true niche. That's what I'm thinking about. And guess what? That's why I said, look, I'm taking courses on AI. Next month, I'm going, actually, February, I'm going down to Clearwater, Florida. I'm going to become a certified divorce specialist. Like, I'm looking at what's going to happen. And as a result of it happening, I want to be prepared. And we want you to be prepared, which is why we want you to click on that link and register for Hit the Ground Running, which is going to be our 4-part education series because we want to teach you how to navigate in the sway of any real estate market because you're going to build a sustainable real estate business, and you don't have to tell yourself, oh, let me leave here and go get a real job. No, let me be clear. This is a real job. It don't get any more
So
real, right, than the real estate industry. And so I'm very optimistic. I am a
I am too.
Let me say this. So my podcast host was talking to Matt Johnson via email, and we were talking about how many podcasters aren't around anymore in the real estate podcast space. And I'm looking at all the people who left. And I said, this is the time for me to stick it out because I can grow substantially more now with less competition.
Yep.
And so that is what I am focused on. How am I going to consistently grow social selling made simple because it does not have as much competition? How do I even find even more outstanding guests? And my guests have been phenomenal, right? Because I don't have as much competition. I was like, yes, because what Marky's going to do is she's going to go back, recalibrate, and really hit them over the head because I understand the value of podcasting. So
Yeah.
so you have to understand the value of what it is that you're doing and the fact that just because other people are leaving doesn't mean that you leave. Doesn't mean
Yeah.
that you leave. There are people who left the real estate market 2008 to 2012 that I see and talk to still to this day who are not as happy today as they were then because they're doing something they don't like to do and they're fearful about coming back to the industry that they had once left. It's okay to come back.
Yep. I was one
It
of those
is
people.
okay.
I was like, this is for the birds.
Yeah, but you still have a love and passion for the world of real estate.
I do. I do. And so, and now I'm back. I'm back on a different level, actually. I'm back as a developer investor.
Say it
Um,
again.
Developer investor. So
Of how many
yeah,
properties?
five
See
properties
there?
that we're renovating right now. So, or we
Five
get ready to
properties.
start renovation on,
So you came back and you got 5 houses, baby. So
pretty much.
I believe in 10 times. I don't believe in perfect. So my goal in life is always to get something 80% perfected, launch it, and then tweak it to perfection. Okay. What we do want to do is to teach you some of the strategies that, and better yet, the numbers that back the strategy and why you should do it. And we're starting next Wednesday and Thursday for 2 consecutive weeks, 4 sessions, hand on live, done with you, business planning. You will have a complete business plan, a complete branding plan, and a complete marketing plan for your business that you could carry into any business, any real estate business, whether you're a loan originator, whether you're a home inspector, whether you're an appraiser. This will be the class for you for real estate professionals. So we want you to click that link and join us and hit the ground running so that you can live in your why and do what it is that you are passionate about.
I love it. Every realtor needs a business plan in 2023. So
All
we're going to
right.
help you create.
Go on now and register, and we're going to see you in class next week. See y'all tomorrow night because we not done with this conversation. See you soon.